For those that may not know me, my name is Brad Rumble, born and raised in Stamford, Connecticut, residing in Bridgeport now. I'm a Christian hip hop artist. I go and attend Black Rock Church. I'm on a couple of areas of worship team. A part of the youth. I've been a part of different youth in Stanford with Young Life. Actually used to, I think your niece is Kayla. I used to be her mentor over in Young Life Stanford. And so
Kayla's my daughter, by the way.
That's your daughter. Oh,
that's
awesome.
My daughter,
yeah. Yeah. So I have, just with this event here today, I just think that there's so much power in Black people acknowledging the power in our identity and the uniqueness in our identity. I think in a little bit of what Wilna was saying is that there's been a stigma of when it comes to Black people having to feel like we have to stand out individually because we haven't fully known what it looks like to stand together as a whole unit. And I think that there is a definite need for taking action as a unit opposed to taking action individually. Sometimes there can be so many events happening and people don't want to collaborate with other people taking events because they kind of want to kind of be the starlet of the show or starlet of the event, so to speak. And I think that when we can say, you know what, like me being in charge of this event is not as important as this event having a catastrophic change to where I am in the surrounding regions of where we are. So me as an artist, really my desire, number one, is to bring the awareness of people's identity in the eyes of God, who they are, what he says about them, and how he and his love has a desire to transform not only them, but their community. And in that, I think why it's so important when it comes to Christianity and Black people is there has been such a dampening of who God is because of slavery and the misconceptions of how it was used, the manipulation of how it was used towards slaves. And even when you look at my family's from Jamaica, and it's the same thing in Jamaica, the same thing in Haiti, how, Christianity was used as a tool and it wasn't used in its correct light. And so really how I use my music, I use it as a tool to bring enlightenment to who God is, but also what he's saying today. And so a song that I wrote, I don't know if Tanisha's going to play it today, but a song I wrote called Illuminate. I wrote it about 2.5 years ago, and it really came from just a dark place in my walk where I really didn't know where he was. I could feel him, but I couldn't see him. And sometimes that's exactly how certain seasons feel like. It's like, God, like I feel like you're around, but I can't see you. And I need that, that tangibility to know that you're here. And so it was just like looking at our today, looking at, every Black man and woman that has been murdered, the things that have happened all the way up to today. It can feel like we see a small glimpse, but it's easy to kind of throw our hands up and be like, well, like that small glimpse, like when will that get bigger? Will I see that in my lifetime? Will I see that in my children's lifetime? And I just want to use that song as a beacon of hope to say, the light that we desire, the transformation that we desire will come faster when we remain fixed on saying we will not change until we see these things change. As well as, me being an artist, it's such a, how do I want to word this? It like the three things I think that we always hear, or the two things that come to my mind when you're talking about making it, so to speak, making it out of the projects is becoming an athlete or becoming a musician. And I think that those two things have been pigeonholed so much that people in urban communities don't recognize that there is a plethora of creativity and talent and gifts that God has placed on the inside of us. And so for me, I've also recognized, like, I want to help transform and change the stigma of what a black man with dreadlocks that makes music, not only what he looks like, but what is he producing? What is he desiring to bring forth and change? And I just want to speak that against to a lot of black men that just feel like their only way out of a system that is against them is through music and through using their physical abilities. And so just when you look at, what movie was it? The Black Panther movie, when that came out, that became, I think right now, #1 in Marvel's movies. And that was mainly pushed by the Black dollar. And the Black dollar has so much power, it has so much value. And I think just with, some things that Kyrie Irving was saying, I think that there is so much that can happen, and how our voice can be used through our monetary value of what we have to bring a change. And so just with some things I was speaking with Tanisha before, is the power in Black businesses. I was talking about this with my boy the other day, and it was not that it's funny, but like we were talking, and it's like, like when you say a phrase like support your local businesses, in my eyes, and a lot of other my urban friends' eyes, normally when I hear that, I'm thinking of a white business, because it's not a normal thing for Black businesses to be local. Like it's a whole other thing. If we're talking about even Black people getting our hair products, when we go to an urban hair product store to get products for Black people specifically, it's not even run by Black people, right? And so there are so many things that need to be addressed, but it needs to be changed, and there has to be action that follows up with that. So just like what Wilner was saying, I believe that that if we begin to start brainstorming and say, okay, like how can I begin to take change in an actionable way, not just in like I'm going to think about it, I'm going to kind of share a tweet, but like something that we can get our hands on, and then actually begin to produce a change that's going to help even this generation. I think sometimes when we just say, for the next generation, we kind of put off, actions that can be done today. So, how can we take actions that can bring a transformation to this generation in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, where it's not just one Black owner that's in the entire NBA, or one Black owner that's in the entire NFL, or even hospitals and all of these things like that. But there have to be changes in the top tiered structure of who is in leadership for there to be a change that trickles downward. So that's just what I wanted to share. And I thank all you guys for being here. It's really encouraging to know that these conversations are continuing to be had, but there's conversation and there's action that's coming out of it at the same time. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, I'm Brad Rumble. If you want to go on any of my social media platforms, it's Zabbai, ZABBAI_.
If I stumble, if I fall, if I ever lose it all, when my back hits the wall, please keep me standing. When I've cried until I'm numb, whispering your will be done. When my lights go out, I pray